introduce yourself.
Okay.
Hello, lovers and haters. This is your man over Mustang, and you're tuned into Aura-Genz, your friendly local hub podcast show. Today we got an electrifying interview lineup that's going to blow your mind. We're diving deep into the world of creativity, culture, with our guest who's about to drop some serious wisdom. So get ready to vibe with us because we're about to bring the heat. Celebrating underground artists and the power of music. Stay tuned. It's about to get real. Go ahead.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Yo Key.
Shout out to you. I see you've been doing some like local promotion amongst the community. You mind telling us a little bit more about that?
Um, yeah, man. You mean like the stuff I did down there in Dallas?
I'm not sure which one. I did see one that it seemed like he was in the parking lot talking to people,
Oh,
asking them
okay.
questions.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So I did. I just went out in the city and did like a meet and greet with people, and decided to make them laugh. Tell them some jokes and vibe with them a little bit. Couldn't catch all of it on camera, but I got a lot of it on camera.
shout out to that. And how was that experience for you?
It was cool, man. It's kind of like an icebreaker, because I like to stay to myself a lot. So to go out there and talk to people, and some people don't have time, but the ones that did have time, I was able to vibe with them and just tell them some make them laugh. That's one thing. 'Cause I got music
Mm,
and I got jokes, so it was good, man. It was a good experience.
shout out to that. And will you do this again?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I got a lot of stuff planned. So yeah, man, I'm gonna be hitting them streets just unexpectedly, just going out and just yeah, for sure.
Shout out to that. And I went to go re-listen to your music on shuffle. Um, First song that I got on Spray. Well,
Uh-huh.
before you even tell me about the song, one, two, three, four, five, six. So I listened to about 15 of your songs on shuffle this round, and seven stand out to me. Spray. Uh, Correct me if I'm wrong, but is it straight forearm T-Town?
Straight from T Town, yeah,
Oh, straight for T-Town.
yeah.
Okay. Fake. Low down freestyle.
Uh,
Breakdown. Bubble flow, and then love don't change.
oh yeah, that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
So we're gonna start off with Spray. Tell us about it.
Well, the uh, the hook is catchy. Jump out the whip and spray. So
Mm,
the hook is really catchy on that one. I was talking about some other stuff in the verse, but I was a little. I really love the hook. I really love how it sounds. I was a little hesitant to drop that one because I didn't want people to get the wrong idea and start going to do like some drive-bys or something like that. So
mm,
at the end, I kind of explained to them, like, listen, this ain't all about drive-bys, for me, jump out and spray. And my version is, I jump out on people and just tell my jokes. So, you know,
no,
uh, it's a catchy, but it's catchy though. It's real catchy. The chorus catchy and the
mm,
lyrics. Oh yeah, I said some real stuff in the lyrics.
I agree. It was fun and entertaining to listen to. And watching your music videos too. Uh, I forgot which. I'm not sure which song it was when you had the kids in the background.
Breakdown.
Jumping on them. Oh, then yeah, breakdown. Like even
Yeah,
seeing like the videos of them, like the kids just being kids and stuff.
that might have
Um,
been Love Don't Change.
that might have been.
Yeah,
That
I
might have
had the
been
kids
Love
in
Don't.
the bounce house with uh
Yeah.
Love Don't Change and breakdown. I had my twins in that one.
Okay. So for Love Don't Change, it was cool to see, you know, just father just being with the kids and just seeing that world. It was a dope music video for Breakdown. It was really telling. I mean, honestly, it could go for like a short like film, I was pretty amazed by the visuals that you captured
Yeah,
for that video.
thank you.
And I know that no problem. It was well deserved. And also, I remember last time we was talking about you have your own company with your wife.
Yeah.
You mind telling us about that?
So I got a towing business. That's what I do for a living. And I got a bounce house business. That's what I also do for a living. And we run both of those together. Mainly the towing business I usually run by myself. She used to answer the phones and go out on calls with me, so I show her the ropes to run the company just in case something ever happened
Mm,
to me. But the
mm,
bounce house business, yeah, we 100% do that one together. We go on every call and we basically go out there and set up the bounce houses. And while I'm working, she talked to the customers. She keep them
mm,
occupied while I'm setting up the bounce house and whatever for the kids. So
mm,
yeah, it's like a little team thing when we got it down packed at this point.
mm. Shout out
Yeah.
to y'all. And let me see. So you have the Bound House, and then you said a touring company as well.
Yeah, we got a towing business also.
So okay. And when how can people help support your business?
Call me for a tow. You can call me
Mm,
for a tow. If you do have any children that are in the Dallas area, it's they both services. The
mm,
only product that I have is my rap, my mixtape. Um, that's the only product that I have. But as far as my two businesses,
mm,
they're services. So
mm.
you really have to,
No, that's just fine. This
yeah,
is the platform to promote it. So anybody that want to support your business.
yeah. So the towing is Grace Roadside right here in Dallas. And the bounce houses is Bouncing for Joy right here in Dallas. You got some kids that want to jump around. You might get a flat tire. Anytime you're in Dallas, call me, man. I hook you up. I got you. Good price too.
Okay. Okay. And do you have a website they could go to or a link or something?
Yeah, so the tone is graceroadside.com. You can just Google Grace Roadside. I should come right up over in Dallas. And same thing with the bounce houses. It's just bouncingforjoy.com.
Mm,
And you can look
okay.
that up in Dallas also. Both of them we service what we at like north in Dallas, but it's Dallas.
Okay. And is your business included for like all of Dallas, or is it a certain area?
Yeah, it's more so like the northern part of Dallas. Some parts of Dallas get a little bit
Mm,
far. Like if you like
mm-hmm.
in Forney or somewhere like that, that's kind of far. But northern Dallas is pretty much what we service.
Okay. Shout out to you. And
Appreciate
for business wise, no problem. That's what we do. For business wise, do you look for any sponsorships?
it. Right now, yeah, we working on a plan. Um, that we need to talk to some people about this one because it's gonna cost a nice little penny to do this one. So yeah, we're
Okay.
gonna be we formulating the game plan for it right now. We're just trying to take the bounce
Mm,
houses to the next level. So yeah, I can't really speak on that one too much because that one is in the works,
mm.
and I don't want to
No, I
speak too
feel you.
soon. But
No,
yeah,
I
it's
feel you.
it's gonna be major what we got planned for it.
Okay. Shout out to y'all. And I know that we went through this, but since I lost the audio, the audience get the chance to hear this. But you mind telling us a little bit of the story of you and your wife coming together and forming this business?
Yeah, so what happened was 2015. I was delivering pizzas. And I got fired. Um, And I got fired because I was late, you know, kind of like how I was late to this podcast. I'm just always a little bit behind sometimes. So, but I'm
Okay.
reliable though. I definitely show up when
Mm,
I say I'm gonna show up. But I just was late, so they end up firing me from my pizza job. And what happened to my
okay.
wife? She was working for this big company, and she ended up getting laid off. So it was just like perfect timing for us to jump out there and just start our own business. So what we did, we took the little bit of money that we had like $2,000, and
Mm,
we bought a trailer, and we bought a bounce house. And
mm,
I had this old truck, man, because our car had just got repossessed and everything. So I had this old truck that we was like running the kids to school with and doing the business. But we started off
mm,
with we bought the trailer. We bought one or two bounce houses, and that was in 2015. And we got like 30 bounce houses now. So it just grew year after year. We once we bought those two, we started handing out flyers, and those two bounce houses were like renting out every week, every week.
mm,
And so we just took the money, and kept growing, and we started another business around that same time. I was using that same truck. And
mm.
you know those like those little two-wheel dollies from U-Haul
Yeah.
where you can tow your car, and your wheels will be on the ground.
Mm,
But yeah, so I had one. I found one of those on, what was it at the time? Craigslist? Yeah, it was Craigslist at the time. I found one of those two-wheel dolly things for $125 on Craigslist. And
mm,
so I put out an ad that I know how to tow cars, and like in 30 minutes somebody called me, and they were stuck in the mud at Busch Gardens. That's a theme park down there in Florida, because this was Florida at the time. So
mm.
they called me. Someone called me and told me they was stuck in the mud. And so I went and I'm sorry, my son bothering me right now. I went and pulled them out the
No problem.
mud. I went and pulled them out the mud, and they was asking me, well, how much you gonna charge me? And I was like $30. And that was my first job, $30. Pulling somebody out the mud. And so I kept
Mm,
the ad on there. I put the ad back on there that I know how to tow cars. And I moved up to $50. And man, so many people kept calling me to tow their car. And next thing you know, I had made $700 in 1 week. I never forget. I made
oh shit.
$700 in 1 week towing cars. And I was so happy, man. I told my wife, I was
Mm,
like, "Do you see this? I made $700 this week towing cars."
mm,
And I kept going, and that's been my number like 10 years ago. If I like to make at least $700. That's my number. And so,
mm.
um, I've been accomplishing that goal, of course, year after year. So, you know,
Shout out, man.
yeah, man, it's just it's a blessing, man. It's got its ups and downs, but
Mm,
it's just a blessing to find something to do and be an entrepreneur, and make your own money. It's a really good feeling.
shout out to you. And speaking of challenges, what challenges have you faced with your independent business?
Um, just if I could be honest, man, being black,
Mm,
uh, you know, um, I got my first contract when I was towing cars. Okay, so I started out putting ads on Craigslist and just letting my local neighbors know that I tow cars. But then I end up getting a contract with Mercedes through a
mm,
through some type of, I don't know. I was just googling towing companies near me, and I seen a link that says be one of our towing providers. So I got all my paperwork together and I filled out the application and they accepted me. And then next thing you know, I was towing Mercedes cars. So I started towing brand new Mercedes. Like literally sometimes
Mm.
the brand new
Like off the
Mercedes,
parking lot?
yeah, they would people car
Mm.
would break down. It would be like the engine will go out, or the transmission will
Mm.
go out, or a flat tire. So I
Oh,
was
so
towing.
these are the cars that you couldn't easily find parts to.
Yeah, well, it's just brand new cars malfunctioning.
Okay. Okay.
From a flat tire, from not starting, from a dead battery. So I would tow them to the Mercedes dealership, but these were high rollers, So when I
Mm.
when I get there and they see my equipment, I know I still had the old beat up truck. I didn't upgrade my truck until a few years later, but I had the old beat up truck, but I was good at towing though. And
Mm.
they'll give me that look like you know what you're doing, and is this a real tow truck? And just kind of like I've had some people stop me and say you're not towing my car with that, so it's like,
Oh wow.
yeah, man. So I had to go through that part of, I guess you got to have a certain look. And I was like, well,
Mm.
whatever. And as far as with the bounce houses, kind of same thing. Really the only challenges we had, if we set our prices too high, because sometimes we experiment with the prices to see what works and what don't work.
Mm-hmm.
So if we set our prices too high, then of course people, they didn't rent from us. But uh, my wife, she's real proper on the phone because she worked at a call center, so she was very proper on the phone, and we treated the company like it was big, even though we only had 2 units at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So she's real proper on the phone, and then when we got there, you can kind of tell that they did not know that we were black. You could just feel the vibe and the tension, but like I said, we was
Mm.
good. We was good at what we do. We always been good at what we do. So that's really the
Shout out.
yeah.
Shout out to you. And my last question, when it comes to the business, how do you know, this is what was right for y'all, or this was the good move?
Um.
Do you have other plans, or do you already know like this was gonna work?
Well, I've always wanted to become a rapper, so I had no idea that towing cars would be the thing, business in general. Because we got those the two
Mm.
things we do. I had no idea business would be the way to go for me because I've always wanted to be this famous rapper my whole life, but rap has not got me there. My business has got me. We bought our first house in Georgia. It got so big to the point after like,
Congratulations.
thank you, after like 5 years in Florida, my next door neighbor was stayed behind me was a basketball player, Jeff T. He played in the NBA.
Mm.
We moved to a neighborhood that none of my friends could afford. The church we were going to were like, how did y'all move over there? And it was by business, man. And to this day, I moved from Florida, moved from Georgia. Now I'm in Texas, and I've only been doing our business. So I had no idea business would take me this far. So
Congratulations.
yeah, just this business, man. I have to recommend business to anybody. Like, it don't have to be my business. It could be
Mm.
whatever business that you do, and you'd be surprised. You just get into something and you be like, wow, I didn't know I could be a plumber. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. And that's how I feel
Mm.
about towing cars, because I never knew I would be like a tow truck man. I never had any vision
Mm.
of it. It's just something that I just did one day. I just had a truck and I said, you know what? Let me see if I can tow some cars, and it been going 10 years strong, man.
Mm. And you gotta give yourself some credit too. you're an independent worker, you got your own company, so like you really been standing on business. Do you think you would have got here, working for a company?
No, because I had the competition tried to take me out the game everywhere I go. So when I was in Florida, the towing companies, when they found out about my business, they tried to hire me.
Mm,
They were trying to offer me, I think, like $120 a day. And at the time, I wasn't even making that much,
mm,
but I had faith that I could because the potential was there. Because you got
mm,
to think, I was charging people $50, but some people went far. So some tolls were 75. So I was like, if I do just 2 or 3 jobs, I could make that myself.
mm,
And sometimes I didn't get those 2 or 3 jobs. Sometimes I just got one, but I knew if I let them take me out the game, I would have never experienced I would have never experienced like one day making like $500 in one day. I would never experienced that,
mm.
or I would never had a chance because they would have. And then they wanted me to work the 12 hours. They wanted me to work 12 hours
For a
and
hundred dollars a day?
and pay me $150. And no, I just like yeah, I had faith in my
Mm.
business and stepped out there and just kept going.
Shout out to you for making the right decision. And how do you stay up to date to your potential rivals or other like potential threats to your company?
Yeah, I have to do. See, I'm in a new town now, so Florida. I had the business out there. Georgia, I had it there. I've only been in Texas for 8 months or something like that. So it's kind of like starting over, honestly.
Mm,
I I know the business and I know the business model, but I just jumped out on faith again and just moved up here. So I'm learning the crowd. The crowd is a little bit more higher class. Um, Google reviews plays a lot more now. I didn't care about Google reviews at first, but even though I got
mm,
a 5 star, I got like one bad review out of all these years. But now I have to ask people for Google reviews, so that plays a nice part. Um,
mm.
I had to take my face off my website because it doesn't really it makes you look like a personal business. So I had to look like a bigger company, and I got my uniforms. Of course, we wear uniforms.
You
Just
made
look,
your own uniform?
yeah, we got our wish I had one. We got our own uniforms with the name and phone number and logos on there. So I don't just go to work in a t-shirt. I look like a real towing company. My truck got all the logos, the phone numbers on it, professionally done. So we look the part now. We look like a major company.
Okay. And bringing us back to your music, remind me again, was it straight from T-Town or straight for T-Town?
Yeah, straight from T Town.
Straight from T-Town. Tell us about that song.
So shout out to my man Tom G on that one. He's got a hit down there called City Boy with it. He's a rapper from Tampa. He's a big rapper from Tampa. If you look him up, Tom G. We got a few songs together too. Um, but anyway, I sampled two of his biggest hits, and that's him on the sample. When he said straight from T Town, that's actually a sample
Okay.
from his one of his biggest songs. And and if you listen to the song where it be like, all my East Coast niggas go ride. And then when the part where it be like, cause I'm Southside, skip down. I sample his
Mm,
voice like on multiple occasions, but it's two different songs that those samples came from. And basically I put his voice on the sample, and I just Tampa like that type of music where I come from. Straight from T
mm,
Town is a song that Tampa used to be called Juke City. So that song specifically is for my city. It's because we like that juke music type, where I come from.
Okay. And bring us back from your journey from different states. How has these different states influenced your music?
Um, I was big in Tampa was going good. I moved out of Tampa to, because to go with the business. I was doing the music in Tampa, but it wasn't really bringing me no money. It was bringing me recognition. People like me. They're like, "Oh, you rap good." But I'm like, "Yeah, but I got kids and I'm broke." Like. So,
Mm-hmm.
I had to leave Tampa. We took our two businesses to Georgia, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why we left. We just took our business, and then I was visiting back and forth to Georgia, and I got approved for a house in Georgia, a rental house at the time. It was a rent to own house. So the opportunity was there. I had a place to live. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just pick up and just take my business there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to Georgia, I was a little slow with the music because I was focusing on my towing business. I got to advertise my towing business. I didn't have a studio. So all I did in Georgia around those times, I did like 100 freestyles on my page. Like all those freestyles, if you go way back on my Instagram page, you could check. I'm just in my car, just rapping, and I did that
Mm-hmm.
my whole entire 5 years in Georgia. And
You said 5 years in Georgia.
yeah, about 5, 6 years. Yeah, about 5 years. I did that my entire 5 years because I didn't have a studio. It wasn't until like 2022, like 2 years ago, that I built the studio and I started taking my content more professional and dropping songs. Maybe like 21 or 2022. That's when I started getting professional with it and build the studio and start dropping, songs, not just me in my truck with my camera just rapping. I started dropping real songs and now it's got to the point where I just released my mixtape, Unheard Legend 2, you know, and I might, I got a studio in the garage. I might, after this call, I might go and drop a song now. So I can drop a song at will now and it's be professional, you know.
Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, what made you decide to come to Dallas, Texas? What was the big deciding point for that?
Um, we had decided to move up here. Business started to slow down a little bit in Georgia. And I could have pumped it back up, because I got friends there. But
Mm-hmm.
me and my wife real spontaneous, man. We like Georgia was just a pit stop, so we just those type of people that decided, we picked a state. It was either here or Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So, and actually Vegas is going to be next. We ain't gonna be here that long. I might be in Texas 7 years. I'd be surprised if I'm here 10 years, but it'd probably be like
Mm-hmm.
7, 8 years, and then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna. I have a point to prove, um,
Mm-hmm.
and that point is, I done took my business, my thing to multiple states, and you know what I'm saying, made a living, made a legacy. So I'm just kind of in the middle of that legacy right now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see the grind. We can all see the grind and potential. Uh, just hearing that, you got two companies, under your name. You also, building up your music career as well, which,
yeah.
people, it's one thing to start that picture, is another thing when people start to see and believe it. So the fact that, it seemed like almost everything y'all putting your hands on, like people was believing it and wanting to support it. So I definitely say y'all own to something.
My
And
grand
I will also add this. Just to finish off, I will also add this too. It's a good reputation to see this from a black community, within the black community. Just owning our own shit, having our own business, working with each other, especially having a healthy relationship with our partners and having
Yeah,
this business. So I would say you're definitely a good reputation to support within the black community.
Yeah, man, we definitely trying to do that. You know, we had a interview with a TV show, man, about this whole situation. You know, being just a basically just being a positive role model in the black community. That's really my thing. You know, how many children I got, and it's not about having a lot of children, but it's actually about actually being there. And you know, the children they live with me, and that's kind of
Mm,
rare to find someone with, you know, more than like 5, 6 kids. I got 12 kids, but and they all
mm,
live here, and I just want to
teach them how to do that.
show the world that.
Mm.
Yeah.
And a father of 12 kids, you know, how you handle that situation in this, economy.
Stay young. Um, I don't get stressed out. Work stresses me out more than them because
Mm,
I got to make a living for them. So, um, just give them their time and attention. Say hello to them every day I see them. Um, I make them laugh. It's like we all big kids in here, you know. So
mm,
I'm not an old school parent. We go to the park. Me and my son have push up contests and like,
mm,
you know, who got who's stronger, even though I'm stronger, but you know, we play games, like I interact with them. They work with me. I taught my son how to he just left for a roadside call. Well, he went and got him a regular job now, but he was because I don't think he wants to tow cars, but he does do the bounce houses with me and my wife. So we taught
okay.
all them how to work with us. They go to work with us, and we try not to let them go to work with us too much because you know people when you jump out the car and you got these children getting out the cars, it's not as professional.
Mm,
So, but we got to teach them because they can take over the business one day, and me and mommy can relax and retire or something like that.
mm. No, I think this is really good, especially to teach them just to showcase them like there is other option than working for a company. Especially, in this economy, I think it's more important than ever to own your own shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, just starting off young and showing them a, option at least, I think that's really good on you, even getting the hands-on experience. So shout out to y'all. The fact that, having an independent job allow this opportunity, uh, I think that's some good shit. And
Thanks, man.
speaking of uh, your kids as well. What teachings do you pass outside of the job that you just speaking of? What other teachings do you pass down to your kids?
I teach him the real. Like I talk to my son. I teach him about life. I'm always dropping nuggets to them. I just told they have no idea what I'm talking about sometimes, but like for example, the United States government had some type of law that they banned for 60 years called propaganda, and
Mm,
that law is legal now. And they said President Obama signed in the law, but basically, uh, I let them know like the government can put whatever they want on TV now, whether it's the truth or a lie, and
mm,
things like this were banned for 60 years, but it's not banned anymore. So they can do whatever they want. And the reason they banned this, I'm talking to my 7-year-olds and 10-year-olds and 11-year-olds like this, and they have
mm,
no idea. They just listen to me. But these are the type of nuggets that I tell them. And
mm,
I tell them things like they have to experience racism a little bit because the community we live in it's got It's got a community pool, and we haven't got
Mm-hmm.
we haven't got our key yet. So they go down to the pool, and the Chinese people. Cause my neighborhood is a lot of Chinese, a lot of whites, a lot of Indians. It's no black people. We like the only, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
they won't let them in the pool, even though they pass our house and see us every day. They won't let them in the pool because they don't have the gate key. So
Oh.
the things I don't necessarily come out and talk to them about racism because they have to they experiencing it themselves. So, but we teach them things like like um real life things. If they're complaining about what they don't have, we let them know they know our finances. We don't hide our finances from them.
Mm-hmm.
So they might come and say, I want some new shoes, and we're like, those shoes cost $100. You got 10 brothers and sisters. If I spend
Mm-hmm.
$100 on each one of y'all, that's $1,100-$1,200, and I'm not doing that. So
Mm-hmm.
um they work for we teach them entrepreneurship. Like my rap videos, my little 5-year old lowdown freestyle. If you look at the visual, my little 5-year old recorded that for $5.
Okay.
So
That's
they
what's
come
up.
up they come up to me and say, "Hey Dad, what can I do for $5?" So we really big on teaching them about just entrepreneur. Like my daughter, she's making cups, and she's like she's looking to make a clothing line, and it's just the fact that
That's really good.
it's just the fact that the mind frame that they're in when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
they're so in tune with they're so in tune with real life. Like I told my oldest son when he was 4 years old or 5 years, he's 17 now. I
Mm-hmm.
told him when he was like 4 or 5 years old, I said, son, Santa Claus is me and your mom.
Mm.
And I haven't done that
No,
to the
that's real
rest of my
shit.
kids because I don't want to ruin the fun for them. But I was like, my older kids, I was like blatantly honest with them.
Mm.
So it hurt their heart to realize there's no Santa Claus. It's just mommy and daddy is
Mm.
the real Santa Claus. But they got to understand where these presents is coming from.
Mm.
You need to be thinking me and mommy. You sitting up here thinking Santa Claus that don't exist. It's me and mommy that buy this stuff. She stay up all night wrapping these presents. So you need to be hugging her.
Mm.
And some stuff I try to hide from them because of their feelings and their children but all the holidays we teach them the reason for the season. Like Christmas, we say, this is really what this holiday is about. Easter, um, just we try to steer them towards prepare them for the real world.
Mm. No, I agree. And I think this is good too. Like you said, a lot of agendas and a lot of lies, is being pushed, especially on the younger generation. They don't know better. So I think it's really up to us, parents, guardians, brothers. It doesn't matter who you are. But it's our responsibility to give the youth, the real deal. If we lie to them, how they going to survive?
Yeah. Yep.
So, I think that's, good, especially coming from a parent, be honest with your child, especially if you're expecting them to like, pick up the slack, whoever that is it, to lead the family, you know, especially as a man, most likely we were raised to lead the family. How can
Yeah.
we lead if we're not, getting proper tools or, lessons? Um, so, especially when it comes to like holiday, I think it make it more human or, more, uh, the word I'm trying to find. But I think telling, your kids like, hey, this is where, these holidays means and where these gifts is coming from, making more a human connection than just to have this false image of
Yeah.
some entity, bring a gift or whatever.
Yeah.
And looking at what United States became now, uh, I think as a parent, you can see, the difference between your kids and, the kids that's getting raised in this society.
Yeah, man. It's a big
Hmm.
difference.
Hmm.
It's a big difference.
So,
They look at us like, y'all kids can do that, and it's like, man, it's such a difference.
like, let alone, like, a lot of us doesn't really, it's rare for, I want to say, like, my generation and the generation under me, most of us get brought into, like, maybe four or, less siblings into a household. So, and usually we're still broken out. We're still not able to communicate, talk. So I think this is a big achievement to have a big ass family and y'all like really, united. And just seeing your teachings actually taking an effect with each like, kid already getting the mindset like, all right, if I want something, I gotta, earn it. I gotta put in the work, to get that. Just hearing that, your kids is already starting off their little business and everything, this is really good.
Yeah, man.
Um, and then one day they could be, good reputation for other kids around their age to show them, like, you know what? Um, I think that's, I don't think, I think this is also a good reputation as well to showcase, like, uh, to wake up, families, like, it takes all of us to really survive. Um, there's only so
Yeah.
much, the parents can do, um, you know, so I think this is really good, for the audience to see that, or the youth too, anybody that think about being a parent, what you should pass down to them.
Yeah.
Um, and speaking of, is it your older son that you also, is he the drummer? Is that,
Yeah.
was he your older son?
Yeah, so he been drumming all his life. I have no idea where he learns how to drum because I can't drum.
Hmm.
I don't have the coordination to drum, but this boy, he was a drummer at a church that we went to, and this is when he was, 7 years old. He was a drummer for the church. So yeah, he been drumming his whole life. He's been drumming.
See, the funny thing about kids, we evolve from the parent. So, maybe your passion for music, that rhythm, sparked that interest, for your son. And also checking out some of your music that you've done together. It was really interesting seeing a father and son combo just creating music. It's
Yeah.
really rare to see that. And I remember last time they just said y'all do have some more songs, or maybe I was working on some more songs in the future.
Yeah, we gonna have him hook up his drum set and just kind of go in. The thing about it is I gotta find like somebody that knows how to play the piano, and I think my daughter do because he drums good. But I need in order to do like a full song, I need more than the drums. I need the instruments also,
Mm,
like the piano or whatever other instrument can make up a beat. So that's what we're working on right now. Just trying to. Well, that's what I'm working on now because I know I can perform with him, but I need some more
mm,
instruments involved. So the minute I figure that out, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there, and it's gonna go crazy because people do like that when me
mm.
and him work together.
And speaking of talent that you could, uh, you could use, like I said, anybody can listen to this podcast so they can hear it from you. So you're also looking for, people that play the instruments,
Yeah,
uh, piano. You open to all instruments, or is there some
yeah, just
particular
uh,
that you
just
like?
all instruments that makes up a instrumental. My son drums, so the other instruments would be like a piano, flute, bass, guitar, maybe. Any instrument really that can go along like a live band. I always
Mm,
wanted to perform with a live band, and I got my drummer, but you need other parts of the
mm.
band.
And would they have to be, local in Dallas, Texas,
Yeah,
Texas, or okay.
yeah. If you
Um,
if you're anywhere in the
go ahead.
Dallas area, yeah, I work with you. I can travel a little bit, not too far, but
Mm.
you know, if the project is big enough, then yeah, we can meet up, we can travel together or somewhere. It depends on the project we doing, you know.
Okay. Will you also be interested people that play the instruments that able to send you some samples like, through the web?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, you can send me.
Okay.
We could do like a virtual. Like you can record yourself playing if you are
Mm-hmm.
instrument player, record yourself, and I can use that sample, and I can drop my verses to it, and I can put it together, or we can put it together that way too. If you way across the world.
Oh, you froze. Hello?
Yeah, you still there?
Here.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm
It
still here.
says
Here.
reconnecting.
Yeah. Can you
You,
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, damn.
I wonder why it says reconnecting. Make sure my Wi-Fi is on. Uh, uh, Says reconnecting. I'm gonna try to leave and come back in.